Good evening. I hope you had fantastic weekend this particular week, and of course we meet again here at KUTV on the sports show, the best and amazing sports show in the land right now. And of course this particular weekend we have much and more lined up for you. A lot has really happened in the past 7 days. A lot of football actions and of course a lot of disappointment in regard to the performance. And one of the key talking points that have really left many, for this, especially the lovers of athletics, raging. It is the omission of two of the best, cream de la creme. I'm talking about Faith Kipyegon and Beatrice Chebet. After that stellar performance this particular year, the 2024, their name is not in the final list of the World Athletics Awards. Well, now that calls for concern. Imagine for athlete like Faith Kipyegon, she has really broke a lot of records, setting the pace, winning gold medal in the Paris Olympics and a silver in the process. Same case to Beatrice Chebet, winning 2 gold medals in the same process, the Diamond League. And if that's not enough to actually, for at least her name to appear in the final list of the Female Athletes Award for that particular prestigious award, then that should really call for alarm and concern. Hiyo sasa imekuwa the hot topic and discussion right now in the country. Athletics stakeholders are really wondering what is happening. Why are we not seeing some of the best, at least 2 of the best athletes, not only in Kenya but in the world, owing to their standard of performance that they have really shown in respective competitions in the athletics, in the World Athletics Championship, then in the Paris Olympics, their performance, the stellar performance, some even setting records. And of course, if that's not enough, then who really deserve to actually appear in this, the final list of the World Athletes Award of the year? And of course, it's a big discussion that we'll be following later on that. But don't forget, we have the Elgon Cup, Kenya vs Uganda. That is another big match in the history of Kenya rugby. And of course I will just bring you up to speed with what is happening, and of course what you need to know when it comes to this very amazing competition, and of course to see if indeed Kenya will retain their crown. Remember, Kenya is the defending champion. They won this particular cup in the year 2023. This is 2024. Will things remain the same, or this time it will be a different story? And of course we'll be waiting to see how the event will unfold, and at the end of the day how our boys will be performing. Remember, the head coach unveiled his 23-man squad yesterday in readiness for this competition. So all is at stake, and we wish all the best for our Kenya Simbas squad, even as they endeavor to bring success. And of course we have still a lot of football actions in the Kenya Premier League. We have at least 4 matches lined up for this particular weekend, but to be precise, on Sunday. This is the suspended fixtures. Now it's a moment of reckoning for some of the teams that many thought that this time round they will actually raise up from last season's setback and pick it as a lesson and move forward without really upward trajectory. But as things stand, we have seen a lot of sloppiness from some of the teams that many have considered to be top contenders in the 2024-2025 Football Kenya Federation Premier League. But as things stand, it's the newcomers, unexpected teams that really are surprising, seeing their performance there, and of course the way they play, the way they score, the way they defend. And maybe the discussion might be, maybe this time around, the horse might be the dark one and not the ordinary horses that we have seen and of course used to when it comes to this, the Kenya Federation Premier League action. And of course, we'll be crossing over to the European football action. And of course, in between, a lot has happened in the midweek. And of course, we have now the big matches coming. But before we even talk about the big matches that are lined up for this particular this weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, it's fair to say something unexpected really happened. The thorough thrashing of one team that I don't know how to describe Ajay. I don't know if we can have a look at that particular torture for a moment and see how the event unfolded. Stop the world, we need to get off. Well, this is just torture, and I hope that one day UEFA will care enough to explain how this slaughter really happened in the European elite mainstream football team like this one. Because this is torture, this is not football, but this is history, remember? And of course, history set by the one and only the blue team. Of course, I had many asking that. It was a big question, like, who can do that? Only Chelsea can do that. Can you Arsenal dare do that? Can Manchester United dare do that? It's only Chelsea. And don't forget, by the way, hiyo ni team B. I wonder team A ingekuwa sijui sahii tungekuwa tunaongea story gani, somewhere 20 there. Anyway, so that is as far as the football action is concerned. And don't forget, we still have a big match, the battle of the Titan, between two of the most fierce rivals in the London Derby. I'm talking about Arsenal, Amorezoita, the Reds, the Gunners, and of course the Blues from the Stamford Bridge. So they meet, and of course this is a match of high intensity, and really it's a moment of reckoning, if you ask me, between Arsenal and Chelsea. So who will claim the bragging rights? That is the big question that you're asking. And of course, we will just wait to see how the event will unfold. Chelsea, remember, has already made a very strong statement. And if you're an Arsenal fan, then going to these fixtures, then you should be worried of the quality, the caliber, and don't forget this is just team B. So what about team A? Walikuwa tu pale wana relax, tizi kidogo, wakingoja Arsenal tupatane kesho. Anyway, so I want to take you through some of the stories that are making, that will be forming the basis of our show today, so that we can bring you up to speed with what we have prepared for you in this particular show and usher you properly into some of the discussion that we'll be having later on with my guest. But before that, let's take at some of these stories. Alright, so we begin with rather some unfortunate story. Now, the High Court in KUTV has suspended the Football Kenya Federation countrywide branch elections slated for 9th of October, or rather the November 2024. The decision to halt the FKF county elections was informed by a court injunction filed by a group calling itself Kenya Football Association, claiming to be the legitimate body to conduct FKF polls. In the petition, the group argued that the FKF failed to comply with the Sports Act, and thus Federation cannot oversee the process that will culminate with the election of county representatives and the presidential polls on December 7th.
I'm the same person. Why did you reject that boundary?
Most importantly, I wanted to introduce to you the CEO of FKF. He's here with us.
Drama is never too far from Football Kenya Federation affairs, be it the annual general meeting, elections, just drama. When will it ever stop? The big question. Now let's move on to some athletics action. Now the government has promised to increase support for the Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya, ADAC, amid budget crisis that has nearly brought the agency operation to its knees. Cabinet Secretary for Sports, Kipchumba Murkomen, reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to ensuring ADAC's functionality despite the drastic budget cuts imposed by the National Treasurer. ADAC's budget for the 2024-2025 financial year was slashed from 288 million to mere 20 million, leaving the agency struggling to fulfill its mandate, unable to maintain even its basic operation, which threatens Kenya's compliance with the global anti-doping standards. We really hope that the integrity body that oversees the integrity of players when it comes to keeping disciplines and keeping the sports clean as it deserves will get the much needed support in terms of financial support to carry out their operation, so that Kenya can maintain the global status as one of the athletics powerhouse with clean record of athletes. Wish them all the best. Now, still matters athletics. Sports Cabinet Secretary, that is Kipchumba Murkomen, has called for transparency and accountability in the next year's Athletics Kenya elections. Speaking at the 2024 Chemususu Half Marathon launch at Talanta Plaza in Nairobi, Murkomen reaffirmed his commitment to strengthening governance within Sports Federation, beginning with the transparent elections. AKE last year held, or rather last held, general elections in 2015, where the current president, Lieutenant General retired Jackson Tuwei, came to power, and through new elections were scheduled for 2017, they were halted by a court order after the 10 applicants contested for the process. Right, so it's finally time for that particular election that many people have really been waiting for and yearning for, at least a change in the affairs and the running of the Athletics Kenya. Remember the current regime, the ones that holds the mantle of power, have been in office since 2015, almost 10 years in holding that particular office. Again, issues of court orders, a little bit of house quarreling really meddle in the affairs of running out or rather carrying out a very transparent election, so that a new pair of leadership can actually take over the mantle and run the athletics affairs in the country. We do hope that next year's election will be free, as the sports CS promise, credible, and with no drama. Anyway, let's switch gears to some rugby actions. The Kenya Simba's head coach, Jerome Pia Waters, has announced the 23-man squad that will be taking on Uganda in the opening leg of the Elgon Cup at the RFUEA grounds on Saturday. Simbas will be playing their first match since July, when they finished 4th at the Africa Rugby Cup in Kampala, Uganda. At the same time, the national women's rugby sevens team has set base in Accra ahead of this year's Rugby Africa Women's Sevens Cup at the Accra University, set for this weekend. The Lionesses are in Pool B alongside Madagascar, Ghana, and Mauritius. As defending champions, South Africa lead Pool A alongside Tunisia, Zimbabwe, and Burkina Faso, as Uganda rules Pool C that has Zimbabwe, Senegal, and Cote d'Ivoire. Now, from rugby, let's switch gears to some football action. Now, 4 matches are on card for this weekend. FC Leopards will be seeking to redeem themselves against high-flying Mara Sugar when they take to the pitch to square it out with the Millers on Sunday at Dandora Stadium. At the same time, the Shabana FC will be seeking to secure all 3 crucial points when they take on Police FC at Ogusi Stadium, as Moranga Seals tackles Kakamega Homeboys at Sports Pesa Arena. And another match lined up for Sunday, Bandari FC will be seeking to bag yet another 3 points when they play host to Thika-based side Bidco United at Ukunda Showgrounds. All right, and now from Football Kenya Federation action, then now let's switch gear to midweek action in the European football competition. Now, Ahmad Diallo scored a brace to hand Manchester United a 2-0 win over Greek champions PAOK at Old Trafford. This was United's first win of the first win after starting the expanded Europa League competition with 3 successful draws. In other match, ruthless Chelsea shipped 8 goals past struggling Armenian side Noah in the UEFA Conference League at the Stamford Bridge. Chelsea recorded the biggest Europa Conference League victory, with both Joao Felix and Christopher Nkunku scoring a brace. That was the midweek action. Chelsea in action, Manchester United in action. Manchester United at least winning their first Europa League fixture this particular season, and of course after playing 3 draws, so that's good news for Manchester United. And of course they were playing against a fairly, let's say, a fairly strong team in their own rights. I'm talking about now the champions of Greek football league there, of course meeting one of the former strong teams in the English Premier League, Manchester United, and we saw what happened. Now Chelsea met with another very strong team from Armenia, and the results were there. Evidence ilikuwa kwa karatasi, kila mtu akaona what happened there. Now let's switch gears to the lineup, the midweek, or rather the weekend's fixtures lined up for today, the Saturday, and of course and tomorrow on Sunday. Now in other matches lined up for today in the English Premier League, this is where we have Manchester City will be hoping to return to winning ways when they travel to Falmer Stadium to face off Brighton, while league leaders will play host to 6th place Aston Villa at Anfield in the English Premier League, among other fixtures lined up for Saturday. On Sunday, Manchester United will be down to action against Leicester City at Old Trafford as Nottingham Forest take on Newcastle United before Chelsea and Arsenal take it to the pitch to square it out in the Battle of the Titans. So we are done with part of the stories that will be forming the basis of our discussion today, and we want to take a very short break, but don't forget to invite you to send in your views and comment. You can talk to us on all of our social media platforms. We are coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV Kenya. You can tweet us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Auma Events, at Real Pinchez. Keep talking to us. Remember, the hashtag to use is on the spot, and we'll be sure to sample all of your feedback at the tail end of our show today and even during our show. And of course, we'd like to hear your thoughts regarding the big match that we are expecting tomorrow between Chelsea and Arsenal. Who do you think will reign supreme? Who do you think has what it takes to brag all the three, to take all the 3 points and claim the bragging rights? Is it the Blues from Chelsea or the Gunners from Arsenal? Remember, it's West versus North, the North meeting West, and this is the London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal. Who will win this one? Keep talking to us, send in your views, and we'll be more than glad to sample your feedback during this particular show. So let's take this very short break. When we come back, I have my guest will be helping us to analyze some of the weekend's fixtures and of course top discussion both locally and of course around the globe as far as football action, athletics, and everything in between as far as the various disciplines, sports disciplines are concerned. So that discussion will be up and down after the break. See you in a while.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shaka, akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake, ukati na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi hivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke wake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke wake, nami Caroline Kipo.
Ndiye Yesu Bwana, wote waingie kwake. Lango, 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 hili lango liwazi.
I am right here for your sake. Now, today we are going to talk about the beginning of a fall. But not just a fall, it is a fall never to recover.
If you spend your time sleeping, na tumesema while you are drunk, your senses are sleeping.
Bwana Yesu asifiwe. How are you doing today? I'm well in the Lord. I hope you are well in the Lord.
First of all, I'd like to thank our Father in heaven.
They say broken things can't be fixed, right? But that's a lie. Genesis chapter 3 verses 8. That evening they heard the Lord God walking in the garden, and they hid from him among the trees. But the Lord God called to the man, "Where are you?" For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Catch me right here only on KUTV every single Sunday.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepopa si vuguvugu, pepopa ni idea.
Tazidi anyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, inaweza kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
We are all seeing the impacts of climate change. In Kenya, for example, the frequency of the floods is becoming more and worse. The amount of people and livestock we're
All right, so welcome back. This is the second segment of On the Sports Show. This is where we take you through sports review, both locally and, of course, international sports review. But in this particular week, really, a lot had really happened as far as, the sporting disciplines across the country is concerned. But one key discussion that has really, disturbed many, I included. I'm really worried, Kenyan, and it's about time we have this discussion. Waswahili wanasema chanda chema huvishwa pete, lakini kidogo tunaona mambo haiendi sawa venye tulikuwa tunatarajia sisi kama wa Kenya. And of course, to help me unpack this discussion, let me introduce my one and only lost Arsenal fan. ule sugu kabisa. Karibu sana. Weekendi ama wiki imekuaje?
Wiki imekuwa poa tu. Games kadhaa. Arsenal tukapigwa hapo UCL. Lakini bado tuko tu. Yeah. We are still backing our horse. Tukiamini kesho ni kichapo cha umbo msikitini.
Toka hapo. Anyway, so this particular week bana, maybe one news in particular nye kidogo haijanifurahisha. Two of our best female athletes, Faith Kipyegon and Beatrice Chebet, despite the effort, the spirited fight, the glories, the crown, the gold medals, well, their name did not appear in the final list of World Athletes Award of the Year. And that really caught a lot of people, talking, especially athletic stakeholders in the country and even Kenyans. The question is, what really happened and how could, I think that's a mistake and it'll happen at the first place. Let me take your reaction on this. I'm sure you follow Beatrice Chebet. Alishinda 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters in the Paris Olympics. Akashinda pia Diamond League, setting records in the process. And many will have thought maybe, if not Faith, maybe Beatrice Chebet. But sadly, majina yao hayaonekani kwa orodha ya wale ambao pengine wamekuwa fronted to be the top contenders of these awards. So what's your take on that as a Kenyan? Kwanza nataka reaction. Do you feel like
inauma, lakini itabidi tumezoea. Kwanza ya die Faith kwa Faith Kipyegon after finishing her season pale USA na kushinda the medal. I hoped that nikuwa elected as Auma nominated pale kwa Women Athletics Board hapo, but unluckily haikuwa pen as we expected. So we just take it like that. It happen.
Lakini unajua mimi Kenyans wanapenda sana kubali matokeo. Mimi na feel like bado haija happen.
Unadhani we can appeal?
Of course. Kwani what criteria do you use to select? How do you know, like, let's say, then could bring to a very good example and you can relate. Back in the days, maybe the most recent, maybe in high school. Ule mwenye alikuwa anashikilia pale na ule mwenye alikuwa anashikilia huku. Unajua kuna wawili, mmoja na lead from the front, mwingine from the back. Ni nini ilikuwa inafanya huyo mwenye ako front? Sasa waseme like ana deserve kuwa huko. Performance. Yeah, and that's what we see. And of course, there is this list of which category, and I want to take you through these categories, and then maybe mnaweza tusaidia. Pengine sisi ndo tuko very tribal, tuko very in English wanasema tuko na a lot of nepotism in us, because lazima ikuwe one of us. But help us analyze this. In the Athletes of the Year award categories, we have the female and the male categories. Then we have the women track. That is where the likes of Faith Kipyegon, Beatrice Chebet, this is where they fit. Then among among the contenders of this this particular category, the finals, in the final list we have Julian Alfred. This is from St. Luciana, and yeah, she's a very surprising name in this. Until Paris Olympics, nobody really knew about Juliana.
Yeah, in fact, alisha into Paris Olympics only. Nobody ever heard about her until Paris. Yeah.
Na akawin gold in the 100 meters women race, then silver in the women 200 meters race category. And then another one is Sydney McLean Levron. She's from United States of America. This one, Sydney, I think I'll win gold in that particular field event. Then our Kenya, Beatrice Chebet, she won 5,000 meters gold and 10,000 meters gold. Then Faith Kipyegon, she won 3,000 meters, no, 1,500 meters gold and 5,000 meters silver. Which criteria do you, or who do you think deserve? In terms of medals, let's talk about medals. Who do you think ana deserve kwa the list?
Okay, maybe according to me, but compare Faith Kipyegon and the lady mwenye aliappear to in the Paris Olympics, the two, if you compare them, Beatrice Kipyegon is much far ahead of her. So between the two, Faith Kipyegon should have made the list. But sasa ukiangalia, there are many criteria zenye wanaangalianga when nominating the athletes of the year. Ni kama tu ile ya Ballon d'Or. So maybe let's assume Beatrice Faith never made some parts of the criteria that are being used to select how they nominate for the female athletes of the year. Yeah.
Well, talking about criteria, I think the criteria here should reflect on the performance. And then we have we had the World Athletics Championship in Budapest. Then we had the Paris Olympics in France. Besides that, kumekuwa na proceedings the World Diamond Leagues, and remember Faith, of course, she won. And in the process akapata pia reward for keeping that stellar performance. Beatrice Chebet pia alikuwa ana participate, and kuna in fact excuse me, alianza ku break records or setting the records in the process in those Diamond Leagues competitions yenye alikuwa ana participate come to the Olympics. Kumaanisha if your criteria is based on performance, then these are two of the most performing athletes when you wanna deserve kuwa in that nomination list, the final list.
Performance is just a part. It makes the top of the list. The criteria is being used to select the nominees. Unaangalia the impact of the athlete, the impact ameweka on the let's say to the community or something. Also, there are also many other criteria. Performance is just but one of them. So unaweza pata maybe Beatrice was up, Faith was up there, na Beatrice also kwa performance, but then when it came to other criteria, hawaku make the list like we expected.
Okay. And of course, this comes with many criteria in place, but for us, we are asking Kenyans just to help us analyze this, to try and to help us, me personally, to help me digest this.
But in a job,
how? Of course, of course. How can this happen? What criteria? And that is the call that maybe next time tunataka clarity on that, because we feel like something that was genuinely and rightfully ours were robbed from us. And we'll see how the event folds. And we do hope that the near future tutaona what is happening. And of course, remember that is just one category, but we have another Kenyan mwenye at least ameappear in this category. So in the men's track, sadly, no Kenyan. We have the likes of Jacob Ingebrigtsen from, this is Norway. Then we have Letsile Tebogo from Botswana. Letsile won 200 meters in the men's category, that is 200 meters. Then Jacob won, it was 5,000 meters. Another race that many people maybe would have thought that is either Ethiopia or Kenyan affair. And it was taken by this very determined, hardworking, and very consistent guy, if you ask me, in terms of pushing. He started with 1,500, then he decided to give a shot 5,000 meters, and he beat all the big names, and of course athletes from powerhouse countries. Ethiopia, we have Uganda still, Uganda is emerging as one of the athletics powerhouse, and of course Kenya, and he beat these three nations to claim gold in 5,000 meters race. So if you ask me, I think now this is a fair selection. He really deserved this one because of the performance and that and his consistency and his quest, and of course the burning belly to actually accommodate more and go for even big titles, where many people would have thought that this is just a reserve of certain countries. He dared to dream.
Tebogo, did he break the record?
Yeah, the record, he was close to breaking the record, but the fact that I'll come aka clinch and aka challenge Ethiopians, Kenyans, then, well, this is a well-deserved category, if you ask me. So let's move to women field. Sasa hapa ni, this is what nile javelin, hammer, discus, hizo zote zina happen sasa in the field. And this one, well, of course, took much represented because our representative alimaliza number 5, Julius Diego, in the javelin category. So hii ni area yenye mostly concern a lot of Kenyans, but for the sake of now to see the fairness in terms of distribution, then we have this is a very tough name, Yaroslava, huyu anaitwa Machuk. Then we have Nafisatu Thiam. Very funny names there, but this one of the deserving athletes. Then we have the men's field, Tukona Monto Duplantis. Of course, this one broke record, actually. I remember the record in break set, then I can break another. So we are gonna deserve it in that particular category. Then in the women's out of stadium, now we are talking about now the marathons, the walk race. We have one of our very own, Ruth Chepngetich and Sifan Hassan. Well, this is another deserving part. Ruth Chepngetich, remember, she's set a world record, and she deserves this. If you ask me now, this is a fair category. Then in the men's category, we have Brian Pintado, then Tamrat Tola. Tamrat Tola won the men's marathon, beating the likes of Eliud Kipchoge, Amos Kiprut of Kenya for this prestigious long race, and of course long distance runner. So for this one, it's a fair category because in this category, I had to fare on that pretty well, owing to the trajectory of many people would have thought maybe Kenya wange dominate because Eliud Kipchoge had a few issues here and there.
He finished at 64.
Hakumaliza the race. Anyway, so this is the distribution of this World Athletes of the Year award, and well, in that particular track and field category, hapo ndo tumekuwa na a little bit of issues to go like, why is Beatrice Chebet name missing in the final list? Why is Faith Kipyegon name missing in the final list? And of course, I know this is a long discussion. It will hurt a lot of Kenyans, but it's something that will just be keen and eager to see how event unfolds. So I want us to transition now to something else. Let's talk about the Football Kenya Federation election. Another stubborn pill to swallow. I don't know ni nini na happen na football.
Issues kila siku in this e-football yetu. But ni gumu. Yeah, kwanza the way they stopped the nitrogen, the Kenya Football Association. Yeah, it's very, very disturbing. We should do something about our football.
Well, yeah. Do you know today tungekuwa na election ya county representatives.
Yeah.
But sadly, kulikuwa na court injunction stopping temporarily suspending the elections until the case will be heard and determined. That is next week. So I don't want to get into the you know, the nitty-gritty of the court details, but just because ni active case in the court. But one of the things that will come out clear is the fact that now the transitional committee, or rather the electoral board that was formed by the Football Kenya Federation to oversee this election, actually, according to the petitioners, wao wako out of order. They're not supposed to, wao hata ndo wafai ku run the affairs of this election, like to run this particular elections, because according to the petitioners, the Football Kenya Association dinafa Iran, and that is the confusion that is happening. So we don't know what is happening, but we hope that hii ni kitu yenye first of all itakuwa solve. But kuna very important issue yenye ilikuwa raised, not following the Sports Act. Do you think the Football Kenya Federation, with the wisdom and the knowledge within their disposal, when they overlook a very serious affair like this, na wakosa follow the right procedure?
I think maybe it's quite unbecoming of them. Yeah, because this is a very big organization once, and not being able to follow the right procedure, being well conversant without handling these elections is one thing that's very alarming kwa hii football yetu. But then with them, maybe let's wait for what the courts will wataamua hapo mbeleni.
Yeah, very true. And this is a very recurrent affair.
Yeah.
Remember the annual general meeting that was suspended, postponed, because of now still court orders.
Yeah.
And in these football activities, especially when it comes to a very important process like this, lazima to witness a few things like this.
Same case
to even other organizations, other federations. And the athletics, you saw what happened back then in 2017. 10 contenders actually, they filed a case to challenge this, and then it was postponed until today. And it's only in 2025 that we'll be having the election.
And
so
it's been years since the postponement. Yeah.
Okay. Sawa. So wacha sasa tuende kwa the Football Kenya Federation Premier League. Well, mostly when fan wa
tulionyesha vumbi na mabandari gor kila siku. And we are hoping to maintain our title. Yeah, though kuna teams zenye zimekuja hapo kalikali. To me the title contenders bado Gor wataichukua tu. But if you look at Tusker, the likes of Ulinzi, they are posing a very big challenge. Though league ndio imeanza, but I know when tukifika huko mid season you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, they'll have a very, very different trajectory.
Now that you mention about Gor, Gor, unajua Gor haina historia kama Tusker. Gor si kings of comeback. If they fail, they are doomed. Na tumeonanga hivyo. Gor wanaanzanga strong at the start.
Morali kiisha katikati ya game ni hivyo.
Sasa this Gor kuna shida mahali. What is happening? Kumbuka hii ni timu yenye imeshinda ligi, ma champions, lakini after kutaandikwa home and away kupepetwa vizuri. Hapo ndo shida ilitokea.
But they're on the right track. They've just played 6 games. I think they still have some games at hand. like around 2. We are currently at game week 8. So when I think they still have the chance. Yeah.
The chance to?
The chance comeback bado iko. Comeback bado iko.
Yangu mnapepetwa. Mnakanyagwa. Hakuna signs ya kuimprove. Ligi ni very competitive. Teams even from championship, the national super league when walipata promotion, the likes of Mara Sugar, wanatoka huko, wana rise, hawana fancy players kama Gor, hawana rich history kama Gor, lakini wana perform match in match out, wako pale among the leading pack in the table. Well, Gor mko na a very experienced coach, experienced players wenye wamecheza continental football, wako na exposure, but system ndio inakataa ama the Brazilian ajikazi.
I won't put the blame on the Brazilian. I think we are still yet to get our touch, Evans. Yeah, we are still yet to get our form back. Ni form tu ndo bado melak.
Form imelak.
But once tumepata hiyo form yetu, hamtaamini.
Well, mulicheza na Nairobi City Stars, mkakanyagwa. Mkapigwa, that was 2-1. Mkacheza na Moranga Seals 2-2. Draw. Haya, mkakuja mkacheza na anaitwaje huyu? Bandari 2-0. 3 games. Point ni moja tu, mmepoteza point 8, mka survive na moja. Wewe unaona hii ni timu yenye unaweza sema ati mko hapa ati mnacheza. Ni uongo. Gor si team ya comeback. This time round tukubali Gor wameenda na maybe tutakuja tuone
mid season itafika once. You see what I'm telling you.
Okay. Then let's take a look at kuna some fixtures lined up for today. For tomorrow. And we have FC Leopards when watakuwa up against FC Leopard. By the way, it's another team wenye iko na very funny story when it comes to Kenya Premier League season. Walianza vizuri, kapepeta Mathare United, nikasema bas hawa wamefika, waka unveil manifesto, waka launch nini, waka rebrand, kasema now this is the team to beat. What is happening?
FC Leopards pia, they have just their own issues. Mara wako hapa wana perform, mara wana depreciate kwa table. Nashangaa what's going on, but then bado naaminia tu. Yeah.
So FC Leopards will be up against Mara Sugar, that is tomorrow, and take note, ni Mara Sugar.
They are number 2.
The newbies, number 2 in the table, a little team, na watapatana na Ingwe, mashemeji, right? Wa Gor. Then we have Shabana will be up against Kenya Police. Kenya Police pia ni another team yenye wengi walikuwa nadhani ingekuja na kishindo. Waswahili wanasema kishindo. Kishindo yani ni wewe ni ile timu mbaya, timu imeiva kama Chelsea, ile timu mbaya sana. Then we have Moranga Seals versus Kakamega Homeboys, alafu Bandari versus Bidco United. So nataka your prediction on FC Leopards versus Mara Sugar. Who do you think maybe atacarry the day? And
FC Leopards versus Mara, I think FC Leopards will win 1-0.
FC Leopards.
Itakuwa rahisi, but FC Leopards will win.
Wewe nini na kufanya udhani watawin? Because ukiangalia wamekanyagwa pia wao. Walicheza na I think Moranga Seals pia iliwapiga na wame drop points. Some case their story ni similar to na that of Gor, and ni mashemeji, so they share, they are united in their fate, and sidhani kama hii ni timu yenye itaponea kesho.
Wanaenda kukuja na ile mentality ya revenge. Yeah, they urge to bounce back from their loss, but So I think they'll put up a great performance kesho against Mara Sugar.
All right. So in the table, the league leaders, KCB, then Mara Sugar. Mara Sugar wako na points ngapi? Wako na okay, Mara Sugar ndo wako na points 14, KCB wako na 17, Kakamega Kariobangi Sharks wako na points 13, Bandari 12, oh my god, Mathare.
Umeshtuka.
Their story ni funny. The way they started. Anyway.
Walianza wakiwa shaky.
Then FC Leopards at 6 with 10 points. So the points in separate FC Leopards na Mara Sugar ni 4 points only. And tomorrow they meet. And one team has the chance ya ku breach that particular table na ku make it the point to be at least either one. Mwingine ako na chance ya ku extend to 7. And wewe umesema prediction yako ni 2-1 in favor of FC Leopards. And then Shabana vs Kenya Police.
Kenya Police will win. Shabana wana struggle. Wana struggle sana. Saizi wako huko chini kwa table. They are really struggling. Kenya Police wataonyesha vumbi.
Scores ya.
Hapo kusema scores ni ngumu, but Kenya Police will win.
A win for Kenya Police.
Yeah.
Then Murang'a Seals, Kakamega Homeboys.
Murang'a Seals versus Kakamega. A draw. Yeah.
And Bandari Bidco. Bandari wako home.
Hii ni ngumu. Bandari. Margin? Margin.
Score margin.
Bandari Bidco. 2-0.
2-0.
Najua wewe ni mtu wa Bandari.
Bandari United ama Bandari FC. Well, this is a very strong team. And this time round it's too early, sindio? But wacha nikwambie lineup. Sahi kuna team inaitwa Sofapaka ya Robert Matano.
Yeah.
Unajua penye iko sahi?
Saizi wako hapo mid table.
Imetandika watu. Imechapa watu game start inakuja.
I think hadi wale win their last game. Their last game wale.
Yes. Now team to watch. And napenda sana kutumia the story of Robert Matano. Robert Matano yeye anakuanga ni marathoner. Anzangi na pace, but anajua ku sprint to the finish line. Anaanza slow, anamaliza with power. Ana reserve the best for the last. Now that is the winning coach mentality. Hiyo ni something yenye uwezi ona kwa Gor. Kwa Gor wanafaa wanaanza na tempo ya at a very high tempo and they maintain. Waki sleep waipati. You should know your place. So, table. KCB itatoka hapo. Mara Sugar ita go somewhere in.
Hapa watakuja katikati ama
tuongelee Bandari.
Watarudi NSL.
Tuongelee Bandari. Tuongelee timu kama Kenya Police. Kuna wacheki. Wako somewhere hapo. Hiyo ndio trajectory. Alafu Gori kijaribu sana 3 hapo. Kijaribu sana. So ndio prediction yangu. This is game week 8. Imeanza kushape. Remember that? Points sasa umeona number 1 ako na 17. Number 2 ako na 14. Tuko na 13. Bas. Race imeanza kushape. If you are not somewhere there in the middle, you would struggle.
But bado naamini Gor tutapanda tu juu.
Hii ligi ni yenyu.
Hii ligi ni yetu.
Anyway, I think it's the best time to are you got top 10?
Gor tuko number 10.
Wachanganyikiwa. Anyway, so let's take a very, very, very short break. Then when we come back, we'll be diving into international sports review, and I'll be taking you through some of the midweek action, and of course the lineup for Today, Saturday, and of course tomorrow, Sunday. Just to bring you up to speed with what is, what will be transpiring, especially the big match between Chelsea and Arsenal. I'm seated, as you can see, it's blue and Arsenal there. And tomorrow hapa tutabaini mbichi na mbivu. But first of all, let's
ningevaa jezi.
Hata ukivaa ndugu yangu huwezi change. Anyway, so let's take a very short break. When we come back, and of course I will be taking you through some of the midweek review. Remember kuna races inaanza kushape. Sahi ndovu, sijui mwingine alikuwa anajiita farasi, ni kama miguu inaanza kuvunjika. But we'll talk about that after the break. This is the third segment of On the Sports Show. This is time to talk about, third and last. All right. So we are about to talk about, or we want to talk about now, international sports review. A lot has happened, and as I sit here, I'm a representative of the blue. This is right now, kila kitu, every indication points to Chelsea as the best team right now. As you can see,
mlipiga Noah.
Tulitandika na team B. Nataka ukiongelea kupiga Noah, patia credit where it's due. Sema team B ilipiga Noah. Juu ukisema Chelsea, hiyo unakosea Chelsea heshima. Juu kikosi ile lethal ilikuwa imekaa kando, ina watch tu venye mambo inaenda, venye tunacheza kichampion, kibingwa. In fact, by the way, kwa hiyo Conference League hatuna size yetu, tusha graduate. Tuko hapo for formality tu. Uwezi argue, evidence iko pale kwa karatasi, tushaona si ni mabaya. Anyway,
next time ndo watafutia Abraham, upige Abraham pia. Mmengalia Noah bana. Their squad is not even half what
do you mean?
Not even a quarter of what.
No, nikuulize, uliona ni 12 players versus 11. Si ni 11 versus 11. Watu wako na miguu, wako na akili, wanaweza kick ball. Sio ndio matter in football. Yeah? The fact that we are rich, we can afford expensive players. It's not our mistake. If sisi must to blame juu wao hawezi afford that. Competition ni fair. Bring 11, we bring our 11. Tupatane hapo. May the best team win. And the best team won.
I saw their tweets, the official tweets, the club you really demoralize the.
Wacha nikusomee kitu. Let me read you something. Wacha nikusomee kitu. One of the football pundits akasema, if this is the elite European football, akapose, stop the world. Yani dunia isimame kwanza. The world to stop, we need to get off. Because ini hujuma, haijawahi happen. Tumeona watu wamepiga mtu bao 8, lakini kuna jibu. Bao 8 bila jibu haijawahi fanyika. Hii ni historia.
Unajua nyinyi pia tuliwapiga bao 5 bila jibu.
Kesho ndugu yangu tuongea 8.
Kesho
8 bao ni 8. Bao ni 8. Haya, sikiza hii ingine. Akasema one day UEFA may care to explain how. Umesikia? Big words. How? How a ritual slaughter. Yani unanyonga na unamfanyia ritual. Yani kumaanisha hiyo team tulifanyia ritual, ndo tukipata the next team tunaua. Umeget? Tumetoa kafara ndugu yangu. Wewe kesho wewe utafute pa kwenda.
Uko sure?
Anyway, so before we come to this game, kuna something bado still. Kuna timu yenye pia imekuwa kwa shida kidogo. This is actually it's the best team in Europe. I'm talking about Real Madrid. What happened?
Real Madrid, they have the quality. They have the coach. They have everything. In fact, shida hata inakuwa ngumu kupinpoint, but then how they balance their squad. You know, pale kila mtu ni star. Ukiona Mbappe, Vinicius, they attacking. Ni kama niseme world class, the best of the best. Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo. Yuangalie the attacking midfielders kama Valverde and Bellingham. But then I think the problem comes where the balancing of the team inakuja kulack. Like unajua saizi Mbappe preferred playing in the left while at PSG. And now that is being forced anapewa a new role pale kama center forward. It becomes very difficult but adapt. And then the new environment, niseme the new environment also ya Spain, also the changes, you know, the players to adapt. Yeah, when it comes to that. But then ukiangalia hiyo the role alikuwa anacheza PSG, now there is another beast there. Tuseme Vinicius Junior is playing on the left wing, and that's where Mbappe is feels that he is very good at. So it becomes very difficult to the coach. Abench nani, achezeshe nani. Ama badilishe role ya nani abadilishe role. So it becomes very difficult. Yeah.
Well, mi unajua mimi nashangaa. Vinicius, not Vinicius. Kylian Mbappe is one player. And venye tu nilisema, and I'll continue saying this. The story of Kylian Mbappe in Real Madrid itakuwa the story of Eden Hazard in Real Madrid. Good player in the English Premier League, flop, Real Madrid. Good player, PSG or French Ligue 1, flop, Real Madrid. I think it was a big mistake for Vinicius. No, confused. Mbappe kwenda Real Madrid. Because hapo ata play under the shadow ya Vinicius. Jogo lazima tu
akue
mmoja. That's why Cristiano Ronaldo na Messi wangewahi cheza kwa
I'm actually of the same opinion, because unajua alichagua a well established team that it was complete hata before kuja hapo. But now that amechagua amekuja hapo, is finding it very difficult, because kama hata cheza hiyo center forward, it's either icheze ama
kae nje
ama kuwe benched. Only two options.
Because huwezi toa Vinicius.
Huwezi toa Vinicius.
The guy is little. The guy is little. Sasa sasa ndio tunawa compare. Vinicius, Mbappe, nani mkali? So mimi I think Kylian Mbappe angeenda kwa team like Barcelona. Then sasa tupige comparison. Vinicius Junior, Kylian Mbappe, nani mbaya? Because wanacheza ligi moja, wanapatana, wana score the goals. Hapo ndo sasa kuna competition, but at the end of the day kuna moja atamezwa tu. Already effect tunaanza kuona for a player, unaona like as a result ona Francis Jamuita.
By the way,
Mbappe anakosa aje
for the upcoming international break ajaito for real.
Why?
I don't know, because of the performance za hivi karibuni, but I think bado ako form. But ni ngumu sana, itakuwa ngumu
ku explain, right? Good. So Real Madrid wako na shida. Barcelona ilifungua chapter ya kichapo, ikawa nyorosha vizuri 4, wakaongezwa ingine na in fact by the way walipigwa pia champe.
Yeah, champe walipigwa.
Wakakanyagwa na AC Milan. And well, ni uchungu. Ni uchungu for the white commandos and for all the by the way pia mimi ukiniona hivi Real inakuanga ndani ya damu kidogo, lakini
sisi ni watu wa La Masia hapa Barcelona, but then unajua hiyo Real ukiangalia vizuri unaanza kushangaa like
wamekosa nini? Coach top class.
Walai.
Don Carlo. Ukikuja team imeshiba, one of the richest in Europe. Ukikuja culture, history, very rich.
Wako nayo.
Players, quality.
From
talent,
goalkeeper mpaka forward.
Goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, attackers. Very best players, quality players, and the football actually can really offer. Wako huko Real Madrid, but hatuwezi sema kubalance imeshindwa, lakini clearly ni kama leakage imepatikana ya kutandika the best team. na the same thing ina happen ujue. Tumeona pia our brothers the pace setters walikuwa the pace setters Man City. Kichapo tu ya Bournemouth.
Hiyo Bournemouth bana ni wagali, kwanza walituanzia bana.
Kichapo tu ya Bournemouth.
Mambo
uchungu mnege. Sporting Lisbon piga mtu 4. By the Man City tangu Pep, mimi Pep mwenye najua haezi achilia 4.
Yeah, wana lack tu hapo kwa midfield. Rodri was the key man.
With or without
hata De Bruyne is not there. Wanapigwa.
Man City yenye najua aingeachilia 4. Wamefanya bana the new coach mwenye Manchester United anachukua
amekova hype.
Sema ule mbaya umeona? Ndio tutakuja. Okay. Watakuja watufanyie hivyo. Anyway. So wacha tuende kwa midweek, weekends fixtures. So today in the English Premier League, leo kuna early kickoff. The first match itaanza at 6 p.m. East Africa time. We have Wolves versus Southampton. That is the first match. Then we have West Ham will be up against Everton at London Stadium. Then Brentford will welcome Bournemouth, the punisher of big teams. Wametandika Man City, wakatandika Arsenal, lakini Chelsea wakuweza. Then Crystal Palace will be up against Fulham. This is another London derby. Then we have Brighton, Manchester City. Well, will Manchester City bounce back or return to winning ways? That's a big question. Then the last match of today, Saturday, Liverpool, the league leaders, Aston Villa. So wacha tuanze na Manchester City. Wewe unaona leo ni bado kichapo, mtindo ni na wembe ni ule ama mambo
haiwezi enda hivyo to the fourth game, like wamepigwa hivyo from
na hajaipigwa 3.
Hajaipigwa hivyo.
Hajaipigwa 3 na amepigwa. Mbona sipigwe 4?
They are going to change on the strategy, najua. Yeah, hii game against Brighton they are going to win it. Hawezi pigwa hivyo mfululizo jamani.
Na akipigwa
that's not the Pep we know.
Because the Pep we know hajaipigwa mara 2.
Hajaipigwa hivyo.
Na hajaipigwa pia hiyo mingi sana hiyo 4. Yeah, quick predictions on that.
I think Man City will win against Brighton.
Scores?
Scores will be around 3-2.
3?
3-2.
3-2.
Yeah, in favor of Man City.
So Man City watafunga 3. Juu sasa unajua uko sure?
Uko sure?
Nani atafunga?
Aland ufunganga against small teams. But I think atapata bao moja. Maybe akina Foden wapichi hapo na mabao kadhaa.
Okay. Okay. Liverpool, Aston Villa. Koja kwanza hii Liverpool. Hold on hapo kwa Liverpool. Liverpool wako na manager mpya. Kikosi ni ile. Siri hapa ni gani?
I think they just found what was lacking. Yeah. Ukiangalia the last season yenye Klopp alikuwa nao. Vitu hazikuenda vizuri. Walikuwa wanapigwa left right center.
Na walimaliza namba ngapi?
Walimaliza number 4 last season. Wakaingia UCL. But then saizi I think Arne Slot is doing a very good work at Liverpool. They have found that thing that they were lacking, then they make it into use.
So shida ilikuwa nini? Unajua because hii team ijabai players.
I think
ni coach tu ndio amekuja.
Klopp alichoka.
So Klopp ndiye alikuwa shida.
I think yeye ndiye alikuwa shida. He never wanted to finish that season well with the Liverpool.
Aston Villa last season wali surprise watu sana. Sasa hiyo wanacheza champe.
Wanacheza champe sasa hivi. Hata last week they were on top of the UCL table. Pale walikuwa na 10 points.
Basa sasa wakatandikwa.
Wakatandikwa. So they also have a good play style. Ukiangalia venye Unai Emery amekuwa akiwa coach and all stuff. Yeah.
Na huyu Unai si ni ule tu mwenye alikuwa Arsenal.
Yeah, Unai was at Arsenal. I don't know what happened.
Shida ilikuwa nini? Shida ni Arsenal. It is the culture.
Shida si
ameenda Aston Villa ana perform. Tumeongea tu vizuri umesema tumeona coach mpya amekuja Liverpool ana perform. Ukasema shida ilikuwa ni coach. Juu player kununua.
Yule Unai Emery, unajua Saka alikuwa anacheza left back. Then we had people like Maitland-Niles. Alikuwa anacheza right back. So with a squad like that, and then
kanunua Gwanduzi.
just on how players wenye tulikuwa tuko nao. Then Nicolas Pepe
kulienda aje?
It was a traumatic era for Arsenal fans, but then I think it was the Auma, the big dogs, the owners of the club. They never wanted to buy players, you know. Being that Arsenal wanakuanga na hiyo mentality, we build our players from academy. But then I think Ateta changed all that. Tukaanza kubuy players, umeona tumenunua Declan Rice, something that Arsenal has never spent 100 million on a player. Yeah, tumenunua Declan Rice, hizi tumenunua Merino, we bought akina Trossard, akina Havertz. It's something that I think Ateta changed. That's why umeona the last season zingine umeona tumekuwa wakali sana.
Amjakuwa wakali kwa wewe definition ya wakali.
Hatujakuwa wakali.
Umeshinda nini?
Hatujakuwa wakali na last season tuliacha top 5.
Amjashinda Carabao, amjashinda hata FA.
What is Carabao? FA we have the FA with Ateta.
FA umeshinda na Ateta.
Yeah, we have a FA with Ateta. Tulipiga Man City.
Amekucheza na Man City.
We also have Community Shield with Ateta 2 times. Since you unajua sianza pamoja cheka.
Okay. Na hiyo ni achievement.
What have you achieved?
Hiyo ni cup.
You achieved it.
Anyway, okay, point yangu ni mimi si hater wa Arsenal. But the point ni Arsenal hata mmechange coach but hakuna kitu mmeachieve. Hamjashinda ligi, mko tu hapo.
Kushinda ligi ndio kuachieve kila kitu.
Kushinda ligi yes ni kuachieve. Ni kushinda kitu. Juu unaweza shinda ligi ama Europa ama champe. Ligi umeshindwa. Champe tunajua hata hiyo msahau. So bado achievement hakuna ndugu yangu. Timu ni ile. Anyway. So but prediction yako alafu sasa ndo tukuje kwa game ya kesho. Tuambie venye mtapiga Chelsea. This pretty one, Wolves vs Southampton. Your prediction, nani atashinda?
Wolves.
Score?
1-0.
Reason why Wolves?
Southampton si wachache.
So
itakuwa ngumu but manager 1-0.
West Ham Everton?
West Ham versus Everton. West Ham will win.
Will win. Scores ama hiyo ni ngumu?
Hiyo ni ngumu kusema.
Brentford Bournemouth.
Brentford versus Bournemouth. Hiyo haizi enda clean sheet.
Nani atachukua?
Bournemouth, not Bournemouth, but Brentford will win.
Si Bournemouth ilikanyaga City.
Ilipiga City lakini sasa unajua against their level teams they don't perform you.
Wana struggle. Okay. Crystal Palace Fulham?
Crystal Palace Fulham, that's a draw.
That's a draw. Okay. Sawa. Let's now transition to Sunday fixtures. Manchester United, Leicester City.
Manchester will win.
Man U to win.
Mbona hapo nasisitiza?
Nakusikiza. Nakupata. Okay, imagine.
A 2-0.
2-0. Why clean sheet? Kwani ni Paok?
Leicester it will be a 2-0.
2-0. Okay. Manchester United, yes, since wapeleke Ten Hag home, wamejaribu. Tumeona wameshinda kidogo, and of course Chelsea liwasamea, of course, bahati pale hiyo penalty hiyo iliniudhi. Hiyo penalty. Si hata ilikuudhi.
Lakini hiyo penalty wana jamani.
Deserves ndio.
They can't win without penalty. Kwanza games za Chelsea versus Manchester United lazima kuwe na penalty.
Lazima wapewe.
Both teams.
Okay.
Last season simulipewa penalty hapa, Cole Palmer akapiga hat-trick.
Ya pena. Hatukuchenga, tukafunga. Huko watch game.
90+8. Cole Palmer two penalties.
Anyway, but hiyo ya last week hiyo kidogo haikuwa fair. Because unafaa uangalie intention ya kipa ilikuwa nini? Ashike ball, jamaa karusha miguu akaanguka. Ref
kipa kuendea ball, aliendea mguu.
Hakuendea miguu, utaendaje miguu bana naye? Wewe ni kipa, kwani unashika miguu ama ball?
Alikuwa shachengwa. Alikuwa shachengwa.
Mimi naona
ilikuwa mbali sana.
Mimi naona Mainu waliongea na ref wakasema, unajua sasa tuko under transition, wacha tu hype kitu. Tuonekane tunafanya kitu. That's what happened. But anyway, it was a 1-1, but it's fine. So today hata pia mimi I think Manchester United can win against Leicester City. Margin of score ndo siko sure, but for those wenye mnapenda kutafuta za cabbage na mpoka, unaweza cheza kama wewe. Manio hapo inaweza kupatia poka, ndio? Cabbage ngojea Chelsea. Then another one, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle United.
But the way Newcastle has really been weak. But I think they will win.
Newcastle imekuwa weak.
I think hata wanatafuta new coach.
Nani alitandika Arsenal? Nani alichapa Arsenal?
Newcastle walitupiga, but sasa hiyo achana naye. They are weak.
Mtu akikulemea nani ni weak?
Sasa unaona nini? The way small teams wanacheza against the top 6. Wanakuja na very different game style. Ako ukicompare na venye wanacheza against the mid tables wenzao, wanakuwa na very different play style, but sasa inakuanga ngumu. Hata Man City wanaweza kukuambia.
Prediction yako?
Newcastle will win.
How many goals?
Hapo kusema goals ni ngumu sana.
Ngumu. Let me tell you why Newcastle hawata win. Nottingham Forest walicheza na Chelsea. Unajua matokeo?
Ilikuwa draw.
Haya, Nottingham Forest unajua wao ni namba ngapi kwa table?
Wako top 4.
Number 3. Unajua wako na point ngapi?
They have 20, is it?
Wako na
19.
Haya, mwenye wanafuata kuna 18.
Sisi.
Asena nyinyi namba 5 ndugu yangu.
Namba 5?
Hata ujui mko wapi? Nyinyi ni namba 5. Anyway, the point ni Nottingham Forest si pushover. Chances ni itapiga Newcastle na vibaya sana.
Uko sure?
So if you're investing, sasa hapa naongea na wale wananijua. They know me. Sijai waangusha. If kama wewe wa kuinvest, Newcastle is the team. Nottingham Forest is the team. Ini team yenye imeprove, in fact imekuwa tested and tried, na ime stand a test of time. Iko very consistent in their playing style, the way they, and by the way, ini team yenye ilipiga Manchester United. Are you forgetting?
Sijasahau.
So ini team yenye imejiorganize. Let me say that. I wanna that tutasema very hyped players ama what, but it's a team yenye ina play as a unit. Na wako na very defensive discipline. Na wana attack as a team. And I think this is a team yenye ni very dangerous ukiplay against. Because hatambui kama wewe sijui ni Arsenal, wewe ni Manchester United, wewe ni Man City, wewe ni Chelsea. Hii tu ni team yenye inataka tu kupush. And hapa naona itabidi invest wisely. So for me I think hapo ndo mambo iko. Nottingham hapo nini inaweza peleka watu kichaka. Then Tottenham, Ipswich inakaa tu obvious.
Tottenham so natafunga bwana. Lazima afunge. Amekawia kufunga.
Maybe ni time sasa pia giveaway. Then score margin umesema?
versus Ipswich at 3-0. 3-0.
3-0. Alright, so ile sasa ile kali sana. Chelsea vs Arsenal. Remember, ground ni Stamford Bridge. Color itakuwa ni blue. Opponent watakuja na gun. So
we are going to want that the Lions nasikia mnajiita Pride of London, lakini sasa mnajua nani is the sheriff in town.
What do you mean at sheriff in town? Giannini.
Sheriff in town in London najua tu ni Arsenal.
Nani ni nini nafanya usema ati nyinyi sheriff? Evidence to prove when sheriff.
Angalia the last North London derbies in the 2 seasons zimepita.
Nani which is
the one with the highest score, the win streaks?
Which team from London do tuseme tu in recent may win something?
May win something. In recent.
Let's say even recent. Let's say the last 5 or 3 years. Team from London.
3 years ni
Arsenal. Team from London ziko mingi. Tuko na Tottenham, tuko na Arsenal, tuko na Chelsea, tuko na West Ham.
Ziko mingi.
Tuambie.
Si ni Arsenal. Arsenal.
Arsenal imewin nini?
Community Shield.
Ndugu yangu umeharibu. Sasa ukisema the pride of London, there is a reason why Chelsea ni pride of London. Because wamewaletea Champions League mara ngapi?
Sasa
ngoja. Europa ndani, ligi ndani. Yani in football kama wewe ni player, kila mtu ana dream kuwin ligi, kuwin Champions League, kuwin World Cup, lakini wewe utawin na club yako, I mean country yako. Na ukicheza tuseme Europa win. Sasa useme umewin yote kwa football. Arsenal nani anaweza sema hebu jivunie.
Najua ungeleta debate ya trophies, utaki kuangalia. Wajua debate ya trophies na Arsenal tunakuanga bana tumeonyeshwa vumbi sana. But then ukiangalia the recent cup in London, ni Arsenal iko nayo.
Community Shield. Good. So nadhani like Arsenal itapiga Chelsea Giannini. Like nini, what advantage wako nayo over Chelsea?
The advantage tuko nayo over Chelsea is that most of our injured players wamerudi. The likes of Odegaard, Rice also nilimwona ako training. The likes of Tomiyasu na Ben White wamerudi. Ben White kwanza he played in the UCL in the midweek. So I think tuko na hiyo major bench boost. But again ukiangalia Chelsea, squad yao hata they don't have any injuries to start with. The squad yao iko perfect. But then it will be a very difficult game. PSG tumepata hiyo bench boost.
Sasa nikuulize ndugu yangu, twende hapo kwa twende strategy sasa. Do you know Chelsea wanna play like one of the most lethal football in the English Premier League? Do you know why? One of the best attack. Nicholas Jackson sahi. No. I want to tell you, Nicholas Jackson ako in form. In fact, chances ni probability ya kuscore kwa game sahi iko high. Tunaweza mpatia 90. Sahi anajua like kujiposition. Same case na Cole Palmer, you know like huyu naturally lazima tu either score ama contribute to something. Umeelewa? Madueke pia ni mwingine mbaya sana. Pale sasa tuko na kijana Lavia wakishikana na Caicedo wanakuua. Na ujue bado sijaweka Enzo juu Enzo yeye plan yake bado tutampanga, lakini yake mostly ni hapo plan B. So in terms of quality, I think Chelsea kona quality than Arsenal. Yes, Arsenal mnaweza kuwa mko na experienced players, hiyo hatukatai. And your squad iko na a bit of experienced players, but when it comes to quality, Chelsea under new manager Maresca, Enzo Maresca, really wamefind their rhythm. And wako na their first starting 11 ni team yenyewe you can almost predict juu I change. Umeelewa? tukianza hapo na goalkeeper, of which tunafaa to have a discussion na huyu goalkeeper kwanza. Aya, Sanchez ndo the first choice goalkeeper. Then defenders wetu unajua tuko na hapo Coil. Then the back, upper back tuko na this guy Fofana, Wesley Fofana. Kukurela kona injury, so yeye hapo space yake inachukuliwa na Malo Gusto. Tuko na Reece James captain. Tuko na Enzo Fernandez, I mean not Enzo but Caicedo. Lavia, hiyo ni mid. Pale Neto, Pedro Neto. Weka huku anaitwaje? Madueke. Katikati hapa nichezee Cole Palmer. Striker wetu Nicholas Jackson. Vijana ni wa young. Kikosi ni moto. Talent ni kibao. Quality niambie wenyu.
Okay, Arsenal saizi unajua tumepata hiyo bench boost. Tukianza hapo goalkeeper. The player tuseme the current Golden Glove.
Hapana.
Beara.
Nzawa,
the current golden glove bearer. Tuanze hapo na David Raya. Then on the right pale tuende na Ben White. Katikati the wall of Berlin tuko hapo na Gabriel na Saliba. Then on the left tutaanza hapo na Tomiyasu won't start, tutaanza hapo na Timber. Zinchenko also atakuwa bench. Then tuende katikati tutaanza it's between, so it depends. I think Rice is back but ataanza game straight away, so Partey will start there.
Tunaona wewe hata ujui.
No. See. Partey Rice ataanza game because he's just from injury. Maybe aingia as a substitute. So he will start from the bench, then Partey will play as DMF. Then we'll go with the one pivot. Partey hapo katikati. Then hapo mbele Odegaard is back. Odegaard will start and Merino will start also on the left. Then huko mbele we'll have Martinelli to start. Though Martinelli of late nimeona ameanza kufunga mabao. Then I'll prefer Trossard to come as a substitute. Unajua venye anakuanga lethal akikuja kama substitute.
Okay.
Then hapo juu tuende na Havertz na Saka.
Okay. So ukiangalia score rate, the rate at which a player can score. Arsenal, Chelsea tuko na consistency. I can tell you, like, we know kwa Chelsea squad, we know like who will score. And for a winning team, lazima kukuwe na some player mwenye unajua this one can score. Because every game in, game out, he can score. Same case to Manchester City. The reason why Haaland ako top of the table in goal scoring is because he can score goals. For Arsenal, siwezi kaa hivi authoritatively niseme kuna player mwenye anaweza score.
Inadepend na
lazima afunge.
Unajua Man City, their entire game, they have built their entire game around Haaland. Same to Chelsea, they have built their game around Cole Palmer. Utapata Cole Palmer will be getting those passes and provide assist ama either funge. Then unaona Arsenal, we hatujabase our play style around any player. Utapata Gabriel amefunga huko na header. Utapata maybe Odegaard amekuja hapo na nini ama Saka amefunga. So it's not something that is consistent with us Arsenal. Anybody can score.
And then nikuulize, do you know like nani ni top scorer Chelsea?
Top scorer Chelsea? Madueke Oru.
Umeona, wacha nikwambie ndugu yangu. Top scorer ako team B. Unajua ni nani? Christopher Nkunku. Yenda amescore most goals Chelsea. Let me tell you why. We are talking about
midweek games.
No, ukicombine yenda amescore a lot of goals Chelsea.
In the EPL ama
ukikuja kwa EPL, top scorer mwenye amescore a lot of goals kwa Chelsea hapo EPL ni Nicholas Jackson. Umeelewa? So kumaanisha for now kitu yenye Enzo Maresca amefanya ni identify players with their strength. Na find how they can work, because Cole Palmer huyo sasa ndo the engine, no, like in terms of distribution, na find the spaces ako so good, and of which end it proved to be the point of difference between Arsenal and of course Chelsea. Because pale simple mistake ata make runs and that will prove to be costly. Wewe umesema mko na walls. Maybe I don't see walls there. Because ukiangalia the attackers of Chelsea, advantage yenye wako nayo over Arsenal ni first of all wako na skills ikikuja kwa dribbling na pia kwa wings watawatesa hapo. Imagine Madueke hapo. Imagine pale Neto. Katikati Cole Palmer anaweza score from any place. Nicholas Jackson squeezy anapenya kwa hizo nini. So mbona nikupangie tu game. Cole Palmer anakanga tu hivi. Anaangalia tu Nicholas Jackson. Pass tu imepita tu hivyo. So my friend
the way you are analyzing game ya Chelsea ni kama Arsenal tutakuwa tumekaa tu tunawaangalia.
Analyze yenyu. Sema.
Do you know mwenye atashika Cole Palmer hiyo game ni nani?
Nani?
If it's not Partey it will be Rice.
Jamaa size yake tu game.
Because I know mtachezesha Cole Palmer hapo katikati as attacking midfielder. So it won't be easy. Once your Palmer is under control, distribution won't be easy. Then we'll have Madueke being marked by Timber. You saw how Timber performed against Man City. Did you watch that game? So it won't be easy as you think.
Niambie wenyu ni nani atatesa Chelsea?
Obviously Saka. Don't let us get a corner. Msiwache tupate corners.
Have you seen the combination ya Lavia na Caicedo in the midfield?
Lavia and Caicedo, that one I leave to Merino and Odegaard.
Because Caicedo, I mean Lavia is the N'Golo Kante of Chelsea. Umeelewa? The guy ana tackle, akona nguvu. My friend, hii kikosi ni moto. Kikosi ni moto. So prediction sasa.
Goals. Prediction. Okay, I won't go big on this. I am predicting a draw.
A draw. Sasa wewe tumeshinda hapa tukidiscuss.
To be real. Nasema draw.
Wewe ni muoga.
Draw.
Ndugu yangu umepanic.
Sija panic.
Umepanic wewe.
Kwa mwekezaji. A draw 2-2.
Hakuna draw.
2-2.
Hakuna. Mimi hii game ni 2-0. 2-0.
A draw 2-2.
2-0. And we will beat these guys. Oh my God. Mtu andike hiyo chini.
Next week tuko hapa. Utasema nilikuambia.
Wewe hakuna kitu.
Utasema nilikuambia.
I have never been so sure.
That game won't be easy.
I've never been so sure about Chelsea beating Arsenal like today. I'm telling you my friend. Hii itakuwa noma. Time ni naambiwa time inakwenda kukwenda. So your closing remarks even as we wind up na tungoje weekend ndo tujue mbichi na mbivu.
Closing remarks naweza waambia just stay safe and okay, enjoy the weekend. Fully hivyo tu.
Okay. Mwambiwa stay safe. Prepare for war.
Chelsea, stay safe. Chelsea will stay safe.
We are going to dismantle this team.
Chelsea will stay safe.
We will beat Arsenal. These guys. Wacha tu. Form sisi ndo tunawaharibia. Tuwaharibia. Arsenal last time walitupea point moja. This time mlitupea point moja. Tulitoka draw mkatupiga hiyo nyingine. Hapa sasa malipo ni hapa.
Hiyo nyingine tuliwapiga ngapi?
Malipo usitake jua ndio. Malipo ni kesho. We are beating these guys. Very serious. Na hiyo ndo message naoacha nayo.
Uko sure?
Kama wewe kuwekeza, you know where to put your money. And it's fair. Majamaa mimi naona tukiachana at this point, it's fair. Let's meet next week by the grace of God, same time, same place. Thank you so much for your company, and of course we hope to do this next time. Do have a lovely weekend, and don't forget to support Chelsea.